Alright. To anyone who is listening on, and hello cartoons, hello and definitely to anyone that is joined on. What the heck? My chat completely flew across the stream. And hello to anyone that is listening on. I am glad that you guys have joined on. I will be creating a animation from scratch. The videos that you guys have seen me done beforehand in the past, I'm going to be showing you the process and the very painfully mistaken way of animating in SFM. But I will say from right now, you don't have to worry too much on the part of trying to get everything started, but I will get this off screen. Sorry about that. Now, if there is some slight... Oh my lord, I am getting a ton of frame drops. Okay, I'm gonna do something real quick. Now, I'm going to exit off of Spotify because I think anything on my computer is going to lag it. Oh, yep, there we go. But let's go on point. So, you know how every animation I do is, it's kind of a weird... It's kind of a weird little spectrum when it comes to playing around with models. So, we're going to build a set. We're going to just build a complete set. Now, we're going to put shop. Now, I know a lot of people have not at all seen a lot of stuff I've been doing because I don't post all of my whips about this. This animation is just the very bottom scrape of animation. And I am trying to get a shop loaded up. Now, the shops in Ponyville are not really constructed for rooms, but a lot of times, if you can see this on, I don't know if anyone can see that on screen. Yeah, no one can see it on screen. Okay, we are good on that. Back to what we're doing. The reason why I don't want anyone to see my inventory of models, because you guys already know I have a ton of not safe for work models. You know that I have a ton of, for people who know me indefinitely about SFM, I have a ton of them. I use them for models that involves, you know. Now, there's no not safe for work in here. The entire thing is very suggestive. And this stream is not for kids. I'm going to tell you right now. Because later in stream, I'll possibly swear, and some possibility I might not slur. I'm not going to do slurs on stream and stuff. But you rarely see me do that nowadays. Now, I've been trying to figure out how to, like, basically, do a better job of interacting with any of you guys. And I'm right now, what I'm doing, let me get that off here. I'm just taking some tabs off so I can do this. Now, we have a house. Just a straight up house in the middle of Ponyville. Now, I took all the houses that are normally in Ponyville, and I don't ever do that when it comes to stream where I show you how to activate map objects. The only way for you to basically do it is by doing what I want to call right-clicking. Now, if you can't see anything, we're going to show you what I mean by this. When you have displays, we're going to do this. There's houses gathered around this entire area. Now, I will say, from my point of view of doing animation, that basically, and quite literally, the very fundamental basics is knowing where you're at. I am on the downtown area of the village of Ponyville, and I love the idea of figuring out where everything should be at, where everything should be laid. And my computer's having a hard time right now just loading this. Now, why does it take so long for me to load it up? The fun part about loading up your animations on stream is that you're going to have problems. You're going to definitely have a ton and tons of problems. And my computer right now is telling me it's using 30% of my CPU to do this. Now, there's another way you can stop your computer from using too much of your CPU and RAM, just using SFM. There's a thing, you know how I do TF2 streams, I do SFM streams, I showcase what I can, I try to entertain, which I'm not really interested in doing that. I just simply think film animation's because this is animation. That's the category we're going in. We're going to be animating. I don't consider it entertainment because here's my thing about stream. YouTube does not like it when I have multiple categories of what I'm doing, right? And it's telling me right now that SFM is having a hard time loading. It's not doing that thing where it's going to tell me that the entire thing is not loading correctly. Now, we're going to clear all that data. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. When you're loading up SFM and you have these issues where you cannot move anything, I'm going to tell you from my point of view of doing this. Your best bet when animating is to be sure that your frames are not going over 50% of your CPU. Or else you're done. Because I have figured out if I go over a certain amount of frames on my PC, my computer is going to tell me to turn it off. Now, we're not going to be using any lights. We're not turning off the camera quality properties. Because here's the rules we're going to put out. We're not doing any kind of thinking here. We're just on the fly. I already know where I'm doing. And how long does it take to make a micro animation, or how long does it take to do inflatable stuff, or any of that type of cartoon stuff that I love to do in most of my animations, because it's more of my interest, more of my area I want to go into, and I don't want to go into really serious character development, because here's the thing, I don't have an OC. There's no reason for me to put together, because I have no OC in SFM. And I don't have the money at the moment to commission anyone. But I will say right now, I have some commissions that a friend of mine, I'm not going to name names, that I'm going to be doing their character for VR and stuff. Now, I don't do VR that often. Now, what is it? I'm being sure everything is running correctly. Okay, we're having some lag spikes, and we're having some frame drops. And I hope it's not, because everything is good. Everything is really good right now. And what I have made my mic to do is I don't want to have those spikes where while I'm doing my animation, I can turn off all the needed necessities in your computer not running this certain way. So I know Pickamania Diane Pie is supposed to help out with Rainbow and Thunderling's relationship. Now, I'm going to tell you right now, this animation is based off of that I can do better than you type of fanfic. Now, I'm doing stuff from a vague point. So we're taking liberties here, which I'm fine with. Because in the fanfic, there's a lot of dialogue that I can try to translate in SFM. Now, I really want to start doing this thing where I want to express how you can just create anything. Like Argadamian, Nicodemon, and a few other big names in the fandom of My Little Pony that do of SFM. The only one I know of that has done it longer than any of them is AdPlus77. I recommend you go pay Patreon and get their stuff because they have a ton of good stuff for Blender. But I'm not a Blender person. I just know they do a ton of stuff in Blender, and it's like a pain in the butt to play with, and it's a pain in the butt to do anything. And I am trying. I am trying right now to figure out why on earth my computer is hating me at the moment. Okay, I'm gonna just turn off Google Chrome because it's taking up the most amount of CPU on my computer. And I'm gonna tell you right now, you know how much CPU and RAM my one program uses? My internet uses 100 gigabytes of data to run anything. That is one. We're gonna look at it this way. When I'm using SFM, it's using 1,000 megabytes, 10 gigs, and I hate it when my computer is doing this thing where every time that I do animations, it wants to constantly want to crash. Now, if my computer is not wanting to run SFM, we're going to reload it again. We're going to reload it again. Don't get angry that I'm doing this, because the only way for me to get anything done, okay, I'm going to force quit it. Task Manager. Task Manager, show up, please. Thank you. I'm going to force quit SFM real quick and restart it, because it's not wanting to do this thing, it's doing this. Oh, JD. The animation's supposed to be a, somewhat a mixture of some butt stuff, butt kind of inflation, and some stuff that involves, disproportionation. And normally, whenever I'm doing it, it's kind of difficult when I'm not knowing what is going on. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to reset the chat part, because I cannot see anything that's going on in chat, and I'm sorry that it's doing that, but I will get back to you in a moment. But I will tell you right now, the entire animation is supposed to be not complex. It's supposed to be a very simple, simple. On my part. Now, where is all the stuff that involves SFM? Now, I'm loading SFM back up as we speak. The animation's supposed to be 2 minutes long, no longer than that. Like I said, we're just doing the draft part. The entire idea is supposed to be just Picomania is given these two lovers. It's kind of what it is. Because in the fanfic that I read, there's something like that. So, what I'm going to do right now, because I'm getting kind of frustrated that this computer is not wanting me. Let me get my display capture, because I'm not seeing chat, and I've been having issues. To anyone that I have not told anyone, my computer made a big, huge dump in the toilet. Figure of speech. I had a massive internet issue, to the point where I couldn't do anything for 3 days. Nothing for 3 days. And I basically had to do this thing of fixing it myself. Why I don't like that? Because it's a bad thing to do that. Now, I don't normally just tell people that it's a bad idea to do this and that. Now, I will say right now, I don't need that background at the moment. Now, for some weird reason, let me do this. Let's see if that works. Now, I don't know why on earth my computer's not showing. It's not showing any of this. Okay, there we go. We don't need chat highlight at the moment. and we're reloading SFM. Now, to anyone who doesn't understand what this animation is going to be, you should already know that I said this earlier, that the animation is supposed to be a short, giant animation, and it has a very small cast. So we're talking 3 characters: Pinky Mania, Rainbow, and Thunderlane. And it's based off the fanfic that I read a couple of months ago. Now, to anyone who already knows the drill about YouTube, you should already know that the drill for me is pretty much the same. Everything on the top is about subscribers, goals, and charities. So for anyone who does not know about what's going on, everyone should be aware of the Ukrainian situation. If anyone wants to donate to me and to that, because a friend of mine named Roadshow has donated earlier this past last month, or the month beforehand in March. I don't know which, but there is a donation thing on the top of my screen right here. I'm gonna enlarge it. This is the Help Ukraine. Now the donation thing is supposed to be just a side thing for all of my subscribers who want to. Now, I don't normally tell people that it's okay to do it. It's just that if you really want to, you can go for it. Now, the only problem that I've been having lately with computer is that every time I'm going over a certain amount of frame rate, I am clocking at 40% CPU usage. And that's a big rip. Now, when I turn that off, it should have restarted. And let me see what's going on with my computer with this. It should not be doing anything. Let me see if I can fix something here. Let's do clean. I'm going to do box because a lot of people want me to do that, and I like it when I can do it. Okay, now I can do that. Thank God it's working. Now, with everything as it is, like I said, Pickamania Diane Pie is going to make a concoction in a cauldron, and is going to try to do something with Rainbow. But the fanfic does not have Pickamania, so I took the liberties of changing that entire narrative and putting her on it. Now, like I said, this entire thing is automatic, so I don't know what is going on with my chat. Because I have not loaded up my thing all month. Now, I cannot do this when I'm doing that, so it's automatic. So we're gonna go to this. You shouldn't be able to see my cursor. I don't want to see that. Now, whenever you're doing a change of, what I mean by this. So you can change this really easily. Just go to your programming. Now, after it loads in, it's going to automatically switch back because I have to manually select it to tell it go back. And it's all black. And I don't like that. And to anyone who is enjoying the stream, thank you very much for joining on. But I will say right now, I have never had an issue like this bad before on stream. Lagging is not an issue. Like, I keep my normality on stream. Oh, there we go. There we go. It's back up. Now, normally whenever I am trying to get it to reload, you understand the aspects of letting it not crash. Now, we're going to go right click and we're going to turn off this. Now, turn back on lights. Now, what we're going to be doing is we're going to switch the camera out. And we're going to switch the camera out with nothing out here. Now, what I mean by this is that all the things that involves moving characters. Now, I will also show you this real quick. If we turn on entities, this is where everything's at. Now, Ponyville is not that big. It's like in the hundreds. But I will say that when we put this together, we have to also focus that the animation is not supposed to be that good in the first place. Now, I'm taking back on my professionalism on animation. And I'm taken aback of that because I heard a lot of people who said they want me to do something else with my time instead of focusing on it. Now, what I heard a lot of people like to do when they tell me that you don't need to focus and just do it and not focus on the perfection, like, understandable. I understand that people want me not to be so perfect about how to do certain things. But me, in a nutshell, I'm too much of a perfectionist when it comes to animating anything. Because I don't like stuff looking terrible. But I'm going to see if this really just works. We're not really supposed to, like, think of this as a perfect animation. It's supposed to be like, when you take the animation, you just do it. I'm just doing this on the fly. I know exactly where everything was last time. And I'm going to show you a technique I like to do so I don't have to focus on moving stuff around and keeping everything on the ground. Now, we're going to go check this real quick. Come on. Shift W. Now, if this thing is floating, it will show like this. Now, we're going to move it on a side. Now, this building, I love it because it has moving parts. Because when you think about it, when you're in a set design in a building, wouldn't you like to have the freedom to just move stuff around and not have to, focus on having stuff that is not moving? And this is a regular shop. That's just a regular antique shop of some sort. Oh, oh my lord. Now, like I said, we're not using any new models. Now, I haven't really want to go to revamp models yet because they've been having an issue. I've been having issues on revamp models. Let me see here. We're gonna turn this up and we're gonna switch to a full screen. And I'm gonna show you why I don't like revamp that much. Now, I will say right now, when revamps are a thing for me, let me get a Rainbow Dash. And we're going to type that in. I had an issue earlier last month where the model materials overlapped. And it's not laughable. See, the materials I had for Rainbow Dash completely reworked itself to switch into another model. My friend's OC got overlapped with Rainbow Dash. Not this one. I'm going to show you in a minute. So, when I was loading up an everyday model, and you can see little details that are on this. Now, I looked at some models that were not supposed to have overlap. Overriding is a pain in the ass because every time I tell it not to override it, I tell it to skip it. I know a lot of people tell me not to do that, but I do it anyway because I'm too stubborn to really change from that. And animation is not supposed to be that hard. It's not supposed to be this overbearing thing where you have to do it. But at the same time, if I go to any model at any time that someone tells me what I'm doing wrong, that's fine. Now see, I told you that it's not safe for work. I'm not going to show it at all. I'm just showing you different ways on why models are not acting right. I figured out the reason why it's happening to my models is because SFM decided to switch it around. And there are some models that are not supposed to have overrides. Now, sometimes in SFM, if you are a newbie or a person, my best guess is to figure out a way to keep yourself from overriding your pre-existing model that doesn't have the same materials. Now, what I'm going to do right now, and I'm going to say right now, we're going to get my friend's model out. And it's in revamp. Now, you know why it's not showing. Because the pre-existing materials got moved over to RTI's model. You know how I know that? I looked in one of my old animations and I figured out, oh no, it finally did that. It finally told me that it overlapped with a pre-existing model. That's not supposed to happen. And you see on the bottom screen, that red is telling you it's loading the model. It's loading it. And it's doing this weird thing where every time that it rescan it, let's rescan. Because revamp models take a while on my end to load. And my computer is always on low storage unit. Now it loaded up. Now let me show you why on earth I don't use these models. Now there is the new ones. I have her. She has all the needed pieces on her. Now the ones with revamp on them, they come in many shapes and sizes. Now the reason why I do some like them, but I don't because it has lenses. I don't like lenses on characters that I enjoy. Now, my girl on my waifu Spitfire is right there working good and stuff. Here's the revamp of Starlight to anyone who's a Starlight fan. Yeah, you guys are not seeing this. You're not seeing what I'm seeing. That's not right. Let me do this. This is what I'm talking about. All the models have all the necessities they need on the S's. Now, you see this. You see that pink. The materials override with these models. And I don't like it. And I know you guys want me to explain to you how to do models in SFM. Now, let's look at some models that I already have. I have my friend RTI's model. And it's there. It is perfectly in the right order it should be. Now, let's go up a few pages. Let's go up a few pages and see if there's any issues with any of these models. Now, some of these models have an issue where the eye lens is pink, and it shouldn't be pink. Now, the reason why I'm not using Pickamania on this one. There's two versions of this one. There is the darker one with a darker skin tone, but I don't like that because you're in an outdoor area. An outdoor area does not need to have darker characters in the background. When you're playing around with SFM models, play around with a light because it's going to really save you time and it's going to save you a ton of ways. If you don't want to use light, I'm going to show you later in the video. Milky Way is in here. Her model has been revamped. Now, there's two versions of her models that I have. This one is new. You see her hair curls up? It's good. Izzy's model is good. But there's a problem. Oh, Lord. Don't. You gotta be kidding me. While on stream, it turned black. The reason why I do not ever constantly do the thing of fixing. Like, he's fixed. But Izzy's model. Izzy's model's not supposed to be completely black. This is an issue I see a lot when you're missing materials. I should not be having these problems on stream. But they're going to happen. They're unpredictable. And oh no, it did that again. I'm going to have to turn off display capture. And I'm going to tell you right now. The reason why I can never stream SFM, and I don't like doing this on whenever I'm on a low-end PC. My computer is great with doing this. Refresh. Refresh. And I hate it when my computer does this. I really do. My computer wants to constantly skip frames. Skipping important frames that could have been different. And the reason why I'm not getting on Google Chrome is because if I do that, my computer's going to lag pretty bad. And I'm selecting a lot of things, right? I'm like selecting an entire tab. Like, I'm going to show you real quick. Whenever I'm selecting an entire stream like this, this is how many things are happening at once. And I don't ever turn that on. But I will say, my computer hates me. And I'm going to have to look into that. I have never had an issue. I checked the Izzy model beforehand. I have done a cleanup. I have done multiple cleanups on this computer. I have done a cleanup earlier this month, which is this past week, yesterday evening. Now, Izzy's model, I'm going to do a quick look into that because I'm going to be sure her model's still in the big, huge folder I have. I have all my SFM files into one big drive. So, all the models from my friend RTI, all the models on my end, all the models on anyone's end, I have them saved. Okay, so I'm back on point. We are back. What the heck? It is doing some weird stuff at the moment. Okay. Oh, I accidentally clicked the wrong thing. But anyway, so this is acting up like it always does. So we're gonna clean that up. I don't need that on because right now I'm more focused on getting this done. Okay, it's doing this weird thing. I might have to quit without saving because it's acting up. It's doing that thing where if it doesn't get activated correctly, it's gonna show a white background. Now, source filmmaker ponies, I do not want to say it has a problem with me, but it does have a problem with loading properly. So if it shows you a black screen, it means it's good. If it doesn't, it means it's something's going on. And to anyone, hello to anyone joining on. I won't be able to see you at the moment on stream because chat is acting up. I don't know why on earth it's happening, but it is. I'm having to clean some stuff up. Let me do this real quick. I'm going to clean that off because I don't want that to be in the way. That should clean up some of the stuff I've been having. Okay, there we go. Now we are already in that moment where we're trying to clean up stuff. Now, if you're going to be able to load up as film on any kind of PC, now I will say right now that all the stuff I have on Blender, I don't use Blender that often. I use it to look at models and look at certain things, or use it to help out enhance something. Now, there's a ton of files I have on my computer. There's audio files that I have never gave anyone permission to use. I have files I use to help sort things out, and I have files for SFM. I also have files for programming and other platforms. And I haven't streamed in a while because my computer did a humongous mega dumpster on me and basically just took an entire shit on me because it had a gigantic SS error on it because my internet went completely berserks. And what happened is that my computer hates me whenever I'm using it during the day. And we're gonna do as much as I can on here. Okay, now it's loaded. Now we're gonna do like I said beforehand, is that we're going to move stuff around. Now, I have already said we're gonna have to turn off lights, render progression. I'm gonna show you no ambient light. Other entities are going to be deleted. Now we're going to group this. What are we going to call the group, you may ask? We're going to say cloprops, because that's appropriate. Now we're going to put all these characters in group again, and we're going to name characters. We're just going to put them all in one go. Why? So I can do this. Just hold them all together in one take, and you can move them anywhere you want. So we can move them across the map without having to manually do it. Now, let's go back to entities. Where do we want them, you may ask? Well, we're going to put them a little bit out there so we can do it. Having to check that again. Got to check this. And to anyone who was having issues while you're not seeing your chats, it's because my computer is having a massive dump again, with now allowing me to load up appropriate. It's just not allowing me to appropriately give it the command it needs to load chats. I remember one time when I first streamed in 2018, or was it 2019? I don't know which. But I started using my phone for a little bit before I switched to just PC only. I found out that trying to use my phone is a terrible idea to stream on, because YouTube hates people who use their phone to stream. I did my first stream in 2019 on my new phone, and the past 3 years I have not used any of that ever again. Because after the fact, I don't want to do any more streams on my phone. I haven't done a whole lot of streams on Minecraft. I don't have Minecraft on my PC. I don't want to use survival mode. I don't like using that because I am too much of a person who wants to use stuff that is me. So, like I said beforehand, we're doing this on a quick rate of trying to do this before a certain time. Now, I'm not trying to waste anyone's time here. I'm not going to do that on you. But I will show you how I do all this stuff. First, I come up with the idea. Simple. I just type in what I need. Now, I said this beforehand, that trying to use a model that is older can easily crash the game. I figured out some very old models that I used to have on my old PC for SFM. I remember one time when I was streaming for SFM, no one showed up that time, after I scheduled it to do it around nighttime. Now, I will tell everyone here, I am always sorry that I don't normally schedule my streams, because I don't normally win, because every time I look on my time, it's going to be a little off. Now, the house that I'm using is what I want. What is that stuff in my mouth? Something that I ate? But never mind. So we're going to move it sideways. We're going to put building. And building props. Because I want to keep all of my stuff in a sketch thing. And normally, Normally when you're building stuff in SFM, you're just basically trying to show people how to do it appropriately. So, transfer root, you just have, what I need to tell you guys is when you are using your model or ponies, I would say limit yourself to how many ponies you can animate all at once. And I haven't really want to ever go back on Twitch ever again because I don't even think Twitch is worth my time on animating. Now, when we go back to this, now I'm going to go back to my camera and I'm going to show you what I mean by turning off stuff. When you do turn off anything in your camera, best bet is to keep the lights neutral. This is what neutral lights looks like. It's like default. Just not so over the top. And I'm thinking putting tables. Now, what kind of table would I should use? Because I want to build this shop to have enough tables in it, and I want stuff to look pretty and stuff. You name it. I don't like it to be just basically, plain, and it's not showing. It's so funny whenever I'm showing what I'm doing. Whenever I'm doing this. So we're going to do this. So this is what table I have at the moment. Let's look at the tables that are suggested. A spa table, a default donut table, so this is a table I used last time, so let's use this again. But, like I said beforehand, we are building. We're not making. We're making a scene for one scene. So for the first 5 seconds is animation. It's going to be in this building. Now, what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to put it inside the building. But the hard part I always say about walking animations is trying to tell my computer to not crash when walking animations are implied. Let's see where we should put our cashier at, or just, props. So let's turn on the other side. This is a display window, which I'm going to be putting stuff on as we are building this. This is the one step to every animation opportunity is building your scenes. Like, look at movies like Toy Story. Look at how they built their scenes. Some stuff was done by scrap. They had to think of their box. Well, we gotta do this in time before the deadline. And the next thing you're gonna have is just call this props again. Group again. Like I said, I gotta keep adding tabs so I can not have to constantly tell myself, well, this and that. No. I gotta do this. And the next thing I gotta do with setting up sets is turn this little guy off. Now, my computer is doing this thing where it's telling me that it's running smoothly, But in reality, it's not because it's using 50% of CPU. My God. It may give me something to eat on stream, but I will tell you right now, I don't ever put music on my streams. I know a lot of people want music, but the thing is, what should I do? Like, I'm picky. But while I'm at it, I'm gonna switch over back to what is it? Capture screen. And I'm gonna do this real quick. Now I'm gonna play some music in the background. I'm gonna have to turn off my mic so I can set it up real quick. Give me a moment. Okay, I'm back to it, so let's see here. We are not using anything else with props. And back in the day, I used to do this thing where I put all of my scenes all in one, so I basically had one screen. Yeah. Let's turn that down a little bit. And hello again to whoever joined. I can't see anyone when I talk, so how's everyone's day? I know it's Easter, it's a holiday. I'm trying to be sure my camera is in place. It's turned eyes on default. Ugh. So I basically drank all my stuff, so I'm eating me yogurt and all that, you name it. So what can else we do with the characters right now? So come on, commercials in the middle of stream. But here's the thing about it with. Let's see here.
Hey guys! For Mother's Day, I have my eye on some gifts from Samsung Galaxy. Like Buds 2 and Watch 4, so I can listen to music and track my workouts. And get what I really want, some peace and quiet. You can find it all at Samsung.com. Just saying.
Goodbye, bench press. Adios, squat rack. Fare thee well, kettlebell.
Hey, Kellen, need a spot?
No, Jake from State Farm. I'm just saying goodbye to my pricey gym membership.
What? Don't give up what you love. State Farm has options like insuring your home and ride, with great rates on both.
Nice. Hey, can I buy you a protein shake or a granola bar or...
Surprisingly great rates. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Call or go to statefarm.com for a quote today.
Turn that down all the way. Good. Let's do this. Don't want it too loud. I want it to be able to hear my voice while doing this, because I don't want people getting bombarded with noise while I'm streaming. I always have to keep testing that to be sure everyone can hear me, which is good. So these are all the Guinea, whatever it's called. And these are darker ponies. Not the one that we saw earlier with the broken materials, but let me do something like that. Okay, here we go. Here's the models that I was using earlier, but I forgot to express which ones. So these are props that I use for building with. That's a tail dock. What? A bear? Oh yeah, let me do this real quick. Because the only way for me to see all this is by going in this. Let's see here. So here's the Kelsa Boutique. Now, I don't normally, like, you know, use these props because I have to, like, put them together in one scene and I just don't like spend too much time on a one room. So Rarity's house that I remember that I used a long time ago is a very difficult place to use any model. And I thought about, you know what, I'm going to put some models that involves playing around with clothing and doing something like that on stream. So this is another prop that I can use for other stuff. Now this goes in the window here. This does not go anywhere else on stream. Now, we're going to be sure this is in place and not anywhere else. So what we're going to do is we're going to go inside the building. Now, one thing for sure about playing in this game is trying to get it to stay put. Now, there's one way you can make everything stay put. And that is putting everything on lock. And locking is a pretty noticeable thing. So what you do this. Go here and lock. Now it moves. That's one thing I love to do about SFM. Now, I'm going to group this to dummy. What the hell is this? What? What is with all these weather alerts now? Like, I don't get that. In the middle of stream, it showed me that.
Hey guys! For Mother's Day, I have my eye on some gifts from Samsung Galaxy. Like Buds 2 and Watch 4, so I can listen to music and track my workouts. And get what I really want, some peace and quiet. You can find it all at Samsung.com. Just saying.
And the next thing I'm noticing right now that I'm going to have to do is put
Love the mochas here.
Too bad my
not light, but just try to figure out, well, this is a mannequin. It stays right there.
Great rate.
Thanks, Jake.
Let me go put away my garbage real quick, and I'll come back. Do one thing, because I was like, because normally on stream I gotta do something. And normally, after I get through of setting up this one scene, and I'm going to stop stream. Because my tradition is after I get through with this, I'm going to start my TF2 stream. I think my limit for this stream is going to be for 2 hours. I'm not sure. I'm just going to do it until I'm ready to start another stream for something else. Now, while we're at it, you know the routine. Save as. Please, for the love of God, please save your progress. Because it's going to get hectic when SFM gets to a point where save crash, save crash. Do you want to load your save crash? It's like, wow. Oh, it's doing that now. So let's save as. Before any stream, I gotta do that. What the heck? Come on. There we go. There we go. Now let me go put some up. Let's be sure. There we go. Sorry for my smacking, because I'm trying to smack my mouth. I'm trying to smack some delicious gum. Sorry about smacking. Smacking my mouth. Let me turn this around. It looks like a cashier's table with all this around it. Delicious gum. I just swallow it. Because why not? So we have Pikaminia here. Dummies. Now let's get some clothes in here. Now, what kind of clothes can we get in this? Now, keep in mind that most of everything that I'm doing is in alphabetical order. Let's see here. Now we're going to get that little thing over here into the window. Now the dummy is just a prop used for clothing and all that, you name it. Now what we're going to do is we're going to tell it to do this. Now when we do that, we give other options, but it gives you a very little interest in prop wise. Now the Dominarak tracks, or whatever it's called, it is a type of suit used in, because this is the I thought about making a series of videos called Pinky's Emporium or Pikamiania's Kink Shop. And I thought about giving the shop its own thing, and it's not supposed to be in Strange Desires universe. It's supposed to be in my own universe, where characters can do whatever they want. That can be a great idea. I would have thought about that, haven't you guys? That would be a great idea. I think I'll go with that. I might rename him Pinky's Kink Shop series. Now, the thing is with using the dominatrix, there's two types. This one has the this is more latex, stretchy kind of material. Now, when you look at it, I look at it from the point of view of a person who uses this for models or uses this for like playing with. Now I'm gonna make some more prop. Now we're gonna name this group Clothes. Now there'll be like bottles and you name it. I'm gonna possibly put a green screen on one moment of this, so it can be called just the Kink Shop. And it's a great idea because I'm basically getting something that it can work, but I am not sure. And it's not supposed to be a video in one sitting. It's supposed to be like multiple videos per week. And what we're going to do is we're going to put this on this mannequin. Now, whenever you're putting a mannequin with this is an all size mannequin. The size that ponies in Equestria have are possibly medium or small when it comes to clothes. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to undo this.
Dig your vinyl, man.
My budget doesn't. Calling time on collecting.
Don't give it up. State Farm has options to get you a surprisingly great rate.
Rock on.
Let's see
Like a
here.
good neighbor, State Farm is there. Call or go to statefarm.com.
State Farm is on your side. Oop.
When I first saw your face, don't wanna wait until you're there to try to be with me, stop being scared. Baby, is this real? 'Cause it isn't fair. I'm just trying to love,
What is going on here?
trying to hurt you. I'm just trying to lose my head when I'm around. Whenever I thought about you, baby, like you're lost in my whole thoughts. Don't wanna wait to be happy. If you say
Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to figure out what I can do with the mannequin. Because of it being locked, I have to unlock it.
to lose again, but you want with me. I'm just trying to love, no trying to hurt you. I'm just trying to lose my head when I'm around. Whenever I thought about you, baby, like you're lost in my whole thoughts. Don't wanna wait to be happy. If you stay with me, stay with me.
Or I can do this.
I'm just trying to love, no trying to hurt you. I'm just trying to lose my head when I'm around you. Whenever I thought about you, baby, like you're lost in my whole thoughts. Don't wanna wait to be happy. If you stay with me, stay.
Now the mannequin, I can do this.
With me.
I'm not afraid of the coldest rain. Keeps me away from the golden days. I'm not afraid, I don't feel the pain. Lead me to the golden cave. I fall right back into memories. Forgot about the past, I slowly drift away. Yet it never really is what it seems. Feels like I'm drowning in despair, knowing that you won't be there. I'm not afraid of the coldest rain. Keeps me away from the golden days. I'm not afraid, I don't feel the pain. Lead me to the golden cave.
Now, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to also do it again. Let's see if this will work. I don't like doing that.
I'm not afraid of the
You see, this does have some implications of it. You have to like keep doing it. You have to keep playing with it. Like I said beforehand, you gotta play with SFM a lot in order to get used to the materials you are using. Now, let me undo that part, because it's doing this, like I said beforehand, stream is being dumb. Let me do it this way. So, I can quickly do that whenever I'm on stream, where I just don't have to worry about switching constantly to, models. Now, what I can do at the moment with the model, we're gonna move it a little bit. And we're gonna get around it. So it's telling me right now it's on its thing. It's on the balance. So now, since we have already got the Dermatrax connected, now we can move the pieces that are in need of movement. Now we're gonna do this. Like, I'm being sure everything is going to stay in place once I get there. Now we're going to do the right arm. Then we're going to do this. I gotta move the prop a little bit more. But now, since I also have some time to do it, we can turn the thing back to its time. Now, what we're gonna do now we're gonna turn the mannequin piece. Now we're gonna do the back legs now. Now my ears are trying to itch.
There are certain moments and words that shaped a new era in pro wrestling.
Austin 316 says I just whipped your ass.
Brett screwed Brett.
Die, Rocky, die.
Introducing the Book of Wrestling, 25 catchphrases that explain the Attitude Era. Tune in as we relive one of the most exciting, intense, and over-the-top times in WWE with new interviews with the voices that made the promos, calls, and catchphrases into history. Listen now.
Look at you, listening to Spotify while you do whatever it is you're doing. That's exactly why it makes sense to promote your business here. Yeah, your business. Whether you have 2 employees or 2,000, your voice can reach as broad or as narrow of an audience as you need. And connect with them where visual media can't. Try it today at adstudio.spotify.com or tap the banner to learn more.
Now we're gonna get the other leg.
It's that day again. I let it sink in. Try not to.
There's a voice I hear, and it's calling me, and I can't ignore it now. No, there's a world out there, and I'm gonna find it. Gonna search until I can't anymore. No matter where I go, no matter what I do, it'll always be there waiting for me. The world's too big for that.
Now, what we're gonna do now is we're gonna go on models and say flask. I got a better idea. And we got another flask.
attached. I'm attracted to the past and how what could have been. You're not impressed, and I have no interest in what I could be. Take me to ecstasy. I wanna be numb. I wanna have fun without the analysis. I wanna be numb if it means I stop the self paralysis. Oh, oh yes. I wanna be numb. I wanna have fun without the analysis. Yeah. I wanna be numb if it means I stop the self paralysis. I wanna be numb. I wanna have fun without the analysis. Yeah. I wanna be numb if it means I stop the self paralysis. Oh, yes. I'm just seeking. I'm just seeking.
Goodbye, bench press. Adios, squat rack. Fare thee well, kettlebell.
Hey, Kellen, need a spot?
No, Jake from State Farm. I'm just saying goodbye to my pricey gym membership.
What? Don't give up what you love. State Farm has options like insuring your home and ride with great rates on both.
Nice. Hey, can I buy you a protein shake or a granola bar or...
For surprisingly great rates, like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Call or go to statefarm.com for a quote today.
Whew, what a vibe. Yo,
Love that song.
I love how the four members all sound so different.
I'm Kathleen Scher.
And I'm Allison Toy. On our show Lion Share, we get to feature full songs alongside their stories when we highlight Asian artists every week in our Music Plus talk show, a new type of show created with Spotify's free podcasting platform, Anchor.
With Anchor, you can add any Spotify song into your episodes and combine them with talk segments by you to create a Music Plus talk show.
Want to make your own? It's easy. All you have to do is head to anchor.fm/musicplustalk and download the Anchor app.
Doing this shit for me, got nothing to prove. She said you a star, girl don't gas me. Ooh. Show me something that I won't forget.
Oh, come on. Now, for all the animations I did with Cutie Meanie and stuff, it's been canceled because of personal stuff that I'm not gonna get into. So we get vowels right here.
Tell me when it gets that day by day, angry by Are you there? Can you show me how you make it look so easy?
Fate has been cruel and order unkind. How can I have sent you away? The blame was my own, the punishment yours. The harmony silent today. But into the stillness I'll bring you a song, and I will your company keep. To your tired eyes and my lullabies, I've carried you softly to sleep. Once did a pony who shone like the sun look out on her kingdom and sigh. She smiled and said, surely there is no pony so lovely and so well beloved as I. So great was her reign and so brilliant her glory that long was the shadow she cast, which fell dark upon the young sister she loved, and grew only darker as days and nights passed. Lule moon princess, good night sister mine, rest now in moonlight's embrace. Bear up my lullaby, winds of the earth, through cloud and through sky and through space. Carry the peace and the coolness of night, and carry my sorrow in kind. Luna, your love so much more than you know. Forgive me for
It crashed on me.
Now the hour has come at last. The soft and fading light has crossed the west horizon and has bidden us good night. And what a lovely night it is to walk a moonlit field, to see the softer shades that are by starlight.
Dear princess, I should have seen the sign. This place is all I have ever known.
There's a lot of good bangers on this playlist, and I am trying not to get emotional about it, but you know, when it comes to being a brony and stuff, you gotta have some emotion with what songs you like.
Good will find a way, that's what they tell me. But as long as there's evil, a hero has to rise. But I don't have to stand alone against 1,000 on his army of my own. And we're shouting out tonight. Tell me, can you hear my heartbeat roar inside my chest? Though I try my hardest, I'm still stuck.
That's good old Taraby.
And in the end, I know it's true.
As of right now, guys, I'm gonna get off here, and I'm going to be switching over to TF2 in a little bit. And I'm gonna see you guys another time.